MG5 is finally in Sydney, available for test drive at Ride MG, and I'm sure any other place as well. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and this is Happy Father's Day to everyone, at least in Australia, who is celebrating it. What better gift to myself than visiting my old friends at Ride MG to take this lovely MG5 finally for a test drive and find out firsthand whether or not it's worth your money, considering just how insanely competitively priced this car is. If you're interested to learn more about this, please give me a like. Happy Father's Day to you. Subscribe for more, and let's keep talking about this lovely, lovely MG5. Well, my friends, I do not have all my contraptions with me today, which is why this is going to be the very first fresh impressions after the test drive and my first initial impressions of MG5, but it's not going to be a ride along because, like I said, I don't have my special contraptions. I'm gonna do it next time. Short version, I like it. I like it, and I think it's priced so competitively that the value of it is undeniable, simply undeniable. If you want a quick, cheap run around town car with 7 years warranty and all the other goodness that MG very competitively enters our market with, right? We're not speculating here on longevity of these vehicles. We're not speculating here on how long they last, etc., etc. First of all, I am an owner, or was an owner, of 2 MG vehicles. Now we still have our MG ZS T, top of the range model. I talk about it all the time, that my wife still drives. It gets closer to 20,000 kilometers now on the clock. The car is doing fine. Take a look at those videos. So we know relatively a lot as private owners about this. If we are to speculate that this car is going to be just as, I'm not going to say better, but just as robust as anything that our MG ZS-T is, then I'd say straight away, full stop, it's value for money. 100%, 100%. Now let's talk detail. Let's talk specifics. This is a bottom of the range vibe model of MG5. Okay, no sunroof, no 360-degree camera, plastic steering wheel, other elements that we're going to take a look at, but very pleasant leatherette seats, and the rest of the interior that I'm going to be overlaying in this video and talking to you about in greater detail just in a second. So I think that for a vibe model, my point is that for a bottom of the range vibe model that you're getting in the ballpark of 25 or something, however much it costs, yeah, it's crazy attractive. It's crazy valuable for what it is, this car. With the warranty, with the looks, I do think that if you are into sedans, I think that the look is lovely, and I do still, as in my very, very, very early review of this model coming to Australia, when we looked at the website, not at the car in general, I said that it's a shameless steal of design, at least massive amount of its elements, from the slopey design of those Mercedes C-Class, if I'm not mistaken. I still believe that, especially from the back, when you look at this car from the back. And I think it's a great thing. Shameless rip-offs are very welcome, as long as they suddenly make something that's visually attractive, also financially accessible, especially for younger people in Australia. Our interest rates go up. You can be on your high horse with Japanese cars as long as you want, my friend. But you have to understand that for run-around town car, especially for a young person who has limited amount of cash, cannot both wait for delivery of more expensive vehicles, more established brands, and simply doesn't have that kind of money, but they still want to feel cool. They still want to be kind of, you know, with it with their friends and stuff like that. This car is under 30 grand. It's under 30 grand, and it makes you feel like you actually have something not dingy. And that's great. We need to live in the now, and we need to understand that the cost of living is very, very expensive in Sydney. So this makes it competitive, and this makes it lovely. Plastic steering wheel, digital instruments panel. Plastic steering wheel is unapologetically plastic, but I like it more than other plastic steering wheels that I've seen, for example, in something like, I don't know, GWM Canon Ute, let's say, or LDV or something like that. Here, it's plastic, but it's thick, and the shape of it is still sporty. It still gives you a sense of grabbing it kind of with this sporty sort of thing. The panel behind it is also very plastic, but kind of blingy and kind of very, I'm gonna say, very Chinese. It's a very Chinese kind of way to go about this bling. It's polarizing. I think some people, like youngsters, will say, oh, I have a cool car kind of stuff, and I'm with you, my young friend, you carry on. For me, it's a bit too much, and it will be a bit too much for a lot of people. I personally think this bling, excessive bling, is excessive, but at the same, and very plasticky as well, but nothing is creaking, nothing is creaking. It's not the initial impression that I got from, say, Cherry or Moto 5, where everything was creaking when I was test driving it. Here, nothing was. I like slightly slopier turned kind of infotainment screen towards myself. I haven't spent enough time with this car to properly evaluate how good is the connectivity and everything else, but it's good to see that they have updated the software compared to our 2021 model MG HS and MG ZST. This is definitely new software in there, so let's hope that the connectivity and other kind of things are improved as well. One limitation that all of these infotainment systems have in common in MG and other vehicles is the lack of wireless connectivity with Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. But this is exactly, my friends, where the sponsors of this video come in. Please check the discount offers in the description below. There is a reverse camera. Well, like I said, there is no 360 degree camera. It's a basic Vibe model, but this whole leatherette feeling of it, the nice clean design of the central panel that kind of allows quite a bit of storage here in the front over there. The side kind of spaces, pockets, let's call them, in the doors. How the seats look, the central storage panel over here that I can open and close. Yeah, it all looks very nice for the amount it costs. The space at the back, if you have a couple of largish, longer legs kind of drivers, or the passenger especially, and you sort of move the seats a little bit comfortably towards the back, yeah, I think that it doesn't leave that much space for the rear passengers to sit there. There is not all that much leg room, yeah, especially if you move the back seat not even that far back, not the front seat of the passenger a little bit further back, not even that far back, but it still doesn't leave much room for the passengers at the back. Also, just because it's a sedan and because the roof is like that, a bit slopey, I didn't sit at the back, but I can see already that even with my not massive height of 175 centimeters, even if I sat there, I would have felt slightly slopier, slightly lower ceiling over me. And I personally, I'm not claustrophobic or anything like that, but it would, if you're tall and you plan to put tall passengers at the back, this is not a car for you. And it is not a criticism for the car. It's just, as I say, the right tools for the right job, the right utensils for the right meal at the table. Yeah, I'm a metaphors person. That's how I deliver messages sometimes. So I think that, but if it is a car for a young couple of people or a one person who saved a little bit and wants a brand new car with warranty from an emergent but already well-established brand, that's important as well. MG is probably the best established brand from the Chinese brands on the Australian market right now. Let's not forget that. That means more of a dealership support network, more of a parts stocked onshore, as opposed to if something happens you have to order them from overseas, such as for speculatively BYD would need to do because they are barely established, and some other brands, right? Yeah, so that's as far as the interior is concerned. Plastic, but within reason, nothing is creaking, and very fit for the price. The boot, as you can expect, is a sedan boot, so it's flat and low. However, it's rather deep. When you open it, that's a rather, in my humble opinion, that's a rather deep space for you to shove the even bigger suitcases or whatever you have to move in this car, kind of shove it in. You wouldn't load it up, you would load it in, yeah, kind of thing. There is a spare tire here, obviously, and there is not all that much else to say about it. Unless I'm terribly mistaken, and if I am, I will correct myself about putting information on the screen. If you don't see it right now, it means I'm right. I think that this car comes with 16-inch wheels. Now, final thing, just from me, Dmitry, like I said, if you don't mind a sedan, if you're a person who likes slightly sportier, slightly, I would dare say, pseudo-luxurious feel on a budget, on a massive budget, then you'd be happy with this, in my humble opinion. But I personally immediately noticed that I need to sit down into it, not sit up into an SUV or into a Jeep. And for me, sitting lower on the road only would make sense if I'm sporty, if I'm fast, if I like to speed up. First of all, I don't like to do that, me personally. And also, this car has 1.5 turbo petrol engine. presumably just a standard whatever MG is using, probably the similar one that I had on my MG HS, but I'm gonna confirm that. Not that it matters specifically. All I can say to you is that in city traffic right now, as I drove around, the car performs fine. It's comparable to Cherry Moda 5. It's comparable to something run out of the mill generic. Yeah, that's what I would dare say. And that's just fair being fair, yeah? So it's not a sporty kind of car. Do you know what I'm saying? So when you sit lower in it and you're like, oh, this is this fake Mercedes kind of thing, and I'm just like gonna just like go like fast and like and everyone is gonna be head turning. I don't think that's gonna happen. Does it make the car bad? No, it doesn't. It just generates the right expectation for you that if you're not expecting that, especially within this kind of price range, you won't be disappointed. Understand what you're getting. Final thing that I'm going to do before I let you go. You can get MG3 from MG. In the ballpark, I haven't checked the latest prices, but when I reviewed it, it was like the cheapest brand new car with 7-year warranty available in Australia for about $18,000 Australian dollars. This car, again, I haven't checked the precise pricing, but it's about 25. If right now I was a young person or someone who is not even a young person but just wants to buy a car for their kids and who wants to buy a second car for the house to just run around town and wants it cheap but new, I absolutely, without a doubt, would stretch that few $1,000s, tiny bit more, $5,000-$7,000, depending on how negotiable they are. I don't know yet. I haven't spoken to my people at MG, tried MG yet. I would get this. I would forget about MG3. I would even dare say I would very seriously consider MG5 versus MG ZS. MG ZS has this SUV feel, which I like in its own way, yeah, and it's a bit more expensive. But this has its own appeal, And I'm very happy to discover this. But these are the on-the-spot, very quick, very excited, as you can see, opinions that I can share with you right now. We are absolutely going to revisit this car, especially if you're interested. And the best way for you to get that information from me is to let me know in the comments down below. I'm not a mind reader. I hope you enjoyed this for what it is. Happy Father's Day, everyone. Happy Father's Day special to the channel. And I did enjoy this vehicle. That's my final thoughts on this. Thanks very much to Ride MG for providing this vehicle. Visit them, lovely people. They look out for you. Goodbye for now. Talk to you next week.